Hello everybody, this is TipTop MTG here today with another MTG video. In today's video, I want to talk about how MTG Arena could add Commander 2020 or Ikoria Commander to the game. For those of you who don't know, Commander 2020 is being released alongside Ikoria. The full deck list and new cards have already been spoiled, and I've done videos covering all of those before. There will be 5 new decks, and they will all be built around a different theme with all new legendary creatures. So would this thing be put into MTG Arena? Before you comment, I know it's not coming to the game, I want to make some things very clear. This video is a what-if style of video. They have already said that, quote, Commander 2020 is not coming to MTG Arena. But my question is, what if it was, and what would it look like? Because while Commander 2020 may not be coming to MTG Arena, that does not mean Commander 2021 or Commander 2022 will not be coming to Arena. So let's talk about how. Currently in MTG Arena, there is no Commander. The main formats are Standard, Brawl, and Historic, and yes, there is Historic Brawl, but that's just a subtype. The MTG Arena team clearly has big plans for Historic, and so even if you don't get to play Commander on MTG Arena, the new cards and reprints could be a wonderful addition to MTG Arena's Historic. This is not something they are against. Actually, with the release of Jumpstart, that product will introduce many new cards to Historic, even though that is not the main purpose of the physical product. Therefore, it is not crazy to think that they could release the Commander decks and have all of the cards within them added to MTG Arena. That may be a crazy thought, but they are already adding a ton of cards to Historic, and so why not add these? This would also add a number of Commander staples to things like Historic Brawl, making it more similar and more fun. I feel that power levels of Commander may be a problem. Well, I'm not saying the Commander decks are overpowered. If you compare them to what we currently have in Historic Brawl, there are a couple cards that would be overly powerful. And so I think that needs to be something that's thought through. Also, there's 5 themes that they're built around, and if there are those 5 themes, and now you have Commander level cards for each of those 5 themes, those themes in normal Historic may go wild because they have the most powerful support for those themes. On top of that, due to only having 60 cards in Historic Brawl, some cards may end up being busted due to you being able to pull them more often, and I don't think people want the Commander product, when it's being designed, to be limited by MTG Arena implementation. Would you want a weaker Commander product so that way it can be added to MTG Arena? Not really. But let's say that the Commander decks are built in such a way that there are no power problems when it comes to adding them to MTG Arena, which, like I said, is highly unlikely due to cards being added such as Soul Ring and some lands. But if it's not too powerful, how would they be added? How would you be able to physically get a hold of them, or I guess digitally get a hold of them? Are they purchasable in the shops? Are they a code within the physical product, or is it something else? First, I want to talk about the idea of buying them in the shops. I think that if you could buy them, you would pay gems or gold and get a copy of each card in the product. You'd be able to buy this product up to 4 times if you wanted to get 4 copies of each card, but the use of wild cards would also be allowed. I think that this could happen, but we haven't really seen this happen with any other product except Historic Anthology, which is a digital-only product. You know what we have seen before? Codes within products such as Planeswalker decks, and you know what is replacing Planeswalker decks in Ikoria? Commander decks. I think that the code in the product that unlocks the deck could be really possible. Now, one issue I have is that adding a deck that was added to your inventory around a format that doesn't exist may be kind of confusing, and they'd have to set the deck category to something, and it would probably end up being Historic Brawl, but then that's not a legal Historic Brawl deck, so there are some issues there. But first, they could add Brawl decks with the same theme and same commanders that have a trimmed list and that is a more appropriate power level for Historic. This would solve the power issue, make it more tuned towards Arena, and just be great. It would, however, require a lot more work for something that MTG Arena would not see a dime for. Now, it might incentivize people to buy the physical product, but I think one of the best ways it could be implemented. However, it's not the only way that it could be implemented through a code. Another option could be to just add the legendary creatures. There are multiple legendaries per commander deck, and so they could just add a handful of cards by adding the legendaries. This could add some new cards to Historic and even more to Historic Brawl, and would not break formats by adding a new archetype and tons of support for it. Honestly, this is the most likely option. Imagine buying the Arcane Maelstrom deck and getting all of the legendary creatures on MTG Arena. It requires minimal work from the Arena devs and makes the item have even more demand. Now, Before I mention 3 ways that it could be added: purchasing, codes, and one other. What is that other? Well, I think it could be pretty cool to celebrate the launch of Commander 2020 product by doing an arena event that allows you to play Commander. You don't actually ever get the cards, but you can play the pre-cons, and if you enjoy them, you might go out and buy them. It adds more content to Arena, it takes little effort, and it is free marketing and kind of a trial period for their new product. Overall, this idea does not seem that crazy, and I think it could legitimately happen even this year. But will it happen? Maybe. I know I said at the beginning of this video that they said it was not happening, but what if they're just adding the legendaries? That's not adding Commander 2020 to Arena, it's celebrating the launch or just adding a couple of fun cards. Overall, I'm super hyped about Commander 2020 and I hope you are too. Please leave your feedback and what you think is going to happen in the comments down below. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.